I won't lie when I say I'm a big fan of shonen anime and action shows and movies in general. Although I've made basically all of my most recent videos about anime, I haven't watched a whole lot of anime throughout my life. The first one I ever watched was Naruto when I was a kid, followed by Dragon Ball Z. From there, I fell in love with the fights, the pacing, the stories, all had so much meaning and impact that no other cartoon show could provide. I eventually started to expand my watch list with shows like One Piece, One Punch Man, Hunter x Hunter, and more. The more I discovered these shows and just how different they were to your average comedy cartoon or reality show, the more I wanted to watch and enjoy what they had to offer. Unfortunately, truly good shonen like One Piece, which combines both excellent storytelling and jaw-dropping fights, are harder to come by than you think. Some of the shows I watched felt mediocre at times and lacked the full substance of a great show, the type of substance that I originally had with Dragon Ball and One Piece. Sure, I'm comparing some of the greatest shows to the more lackluster ones, but it still left me with a feeling of uncertainty. Uncertainty that there may never be amazing shows filled with meaning and action like the ones I watched when I was younger. Along with the fact that shonen anime usually takes like the longest to make out of any other kind of medium. And so, with nowhere else to go, I eventually cut myself off from new anime and just stuck with the movies and shows I was used to. I'm proud to say I only watch shonen and some seinen like Vinland Saga, because there's truly nothing like it. The impact each person and event has on the story keeps you right on your toes, compared to an episodic series where each episode is more predictable than the last. I'm glad I was able to experience these great shows at a young age, but those experiences seem to be fading away as time passes. What can fill the gap that these great shows have left behind? Who can make a story so great that it can unite the community to exclaim its success? Which show can dream big? It's not this show. Alright. Sakamoto Days. I finished it all on Netflix. Well, it's still running, right? That's why I'm calling this a blind review. And I'm sorry, I'm sick, so sorry. It's a blind review, so I don't have a script besides what was in the intro. And it's not done yet, so it's a blind review. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen next. This is my full review on the show up to this point, which is episode 10. I'm just gonna start it off with the characters, right? The characters are either hit or miss. I have to, like, that's the best way I can describe it. Taru Sakamoto is one of the most unpredictable yet predictable guys in the entire show. Alright, he is the greatest hitman known in history, right? He retired to live a more somber and subtle life. Great premise. It could lead to some development in his character in the future, right? That's called a blind review. But for now, his character has been left at a huge stalemate. There has been no development besides when he transforms from like his fat, out of shape, not trying phase into, like, you know, his actually trying skinny form where he gives a little bit of effort, where he probably gives more effort than he should. Sure, that's character development, but character development really defines a character's reaction to the story and his or her response to that said danger or climax or whatever. Sure, Sakamoto's response to the situations of him being beat up are to transform and to give more effort. But it's not a lasting effect that, you know, changes his character for the better and affects the story in the long run, because he will try and then go immediately back to his more, like, you know, somber self. I would say it leaves you to wonder what he has in store for us, but he's pretty much shown it all already. When he doesn't try, he's fat and, you know, he has the glasses and he looks stupid. When he does try, he loses the mustache and he looks good. What will happen when, you know, an opposition comes so far down the line where, you know, he won't be able to have that sense of power that he has in that one side character development, right? This is a problem I have with One Piece, specifically the character Zoro. You know, he's had like two defining moments of his character and he's just like gotten stronger for no reason ever since. He's like said, okay, I'll never lose a fight again, Sure, fine. Has he lost a fight since then? Yes, he has. He broke his promise, and, you know, it should have done something to his character when he lost to Kuma, when he lost to Mihawk the second time. Sure, in the big fights where he's in Wano or Dressrosa, where he's like, you know, shifting the tides of the Straw Hats. Sure, fine, whatever. He broke the promise, though. He lost fights since then. He technically lost the fight at Sabaody. He was defeated. He was sent away. If he wasn't, then he would have done something more. He would have probably stopped the actual Kuma from taking everyone away. And then, like, okay, nothing happened. Where he has his arms crossed and he's like, he wants to protect his pirate or his captain at all times. Sure, that's a great you know, use of character development. That's a great way to implement you know, how Zoro has been reacting to the story up until that point. He's been with Luffy. He's been with Luffy the longest. He's allowing himself to, you know, not humble himself, but more like, you know, give up himself, because he trusts Luffy with his life and he will do anything to keep him safe. It's a great defining character moment. I wish there were more, because there really isn't. He will, you know, he'll go back to his sort of macho self and then just like exclaim that he'll win the fight, and then he wins the fight, and now the Straw Hats have immediate plot armor. I'm not saying it's like it's ruining the experience. It's more so like more predictable, because when we see Zoro under the spotlight, we know he's gonna win, and we know what's gonna happen after that. Luffy's gonna have the big fight and have a new transformation and whatever and win. And I'll still rank One Piece as like one of my top 3 greatest, but whatever. Okay, big One Piece tangent. Back to how that relates to Sakamoto days. So, you know, yeah, Sakamoto is just like Zoro. He's had one defining character moment where he tries against the bubble bomb guy and he tries against the weapon guy. But other than that, that's basically all he's, you know, blatantly had in the story. And obviously he's not gonna get stronger because he's the strongest that can be. Zoro's goal is to become the world's strongest swordsman, so of course he starts off as a, you know, newbie. He's going to get stronger. Sakamoto was already at the top, but now there's all these new people who are like, you know, haven't been washed, who haven't taken a break for 5 years. It's clear that Sakamoto is going to have some kind of spin or like alternation to his character that will allow him to level up to these new foes. What he does is he asks for help. He builds a team, he builds a family. That's what, you know, the story is all about. Sakamoto giving up his life of scrutiny and evil to have a family, not just his wife and daughter, but, you know, Shin, the Chinese guy, I've already forgot her name, and the sniper guy, I forgot his name too. Speaking of the, you know, yeah, these side characters, Shin, I don't like him. He's not an interesting character. He probably has the most, you know, like backstory and development so far. He's probably the most whole character at the moment. But even that is just kind of like, you see in episode 8 or 9 the backstory where he's like in the chemical lab and all that, and he just like, I don't know, he finds out that since he knows what people are thinking about, that they think he's a weirdo. Fine, whatever, let that be his motive to do whatever. He doesn't have a motive. He gets fired from the association, and he just works for Sakamoto for no straight reason. I don't know, he just had nowhere else to go. It's kind of a bum tactic, but whatever. That's a problem I have with a lot of the characters. They just feel so empty. Like I can't really, it's not that I can't relate to them, it's just that I can't enjoy anything out of them. You'll watch them have a fight and sure, it will look cool. Maybe like the animation got like a higher budget for that episode. No, you know what? No, it's only fun when Sakamoto is fighting. When anyone else is fighting, it's just not entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. The scene with Shin and the guy on the roller coaster, the poison guy, that was a good one. That was probably the second best fight. First being the weapon guy with Sakamoto so far. But other than that, these characters hold no substance to the story. You can exchange them for anyone else. It would probably be similar. Sure, Shin's thoughts and like powers to like hear people's thoughts are very helpful, but his character as like a person is not that interesting. He's just he's a nonchalant guy. Wow, so cool, man. The Chinese lady is the same. I think her name is like Chow. I don't know, but I haven't paid attention. She's even less interesting. Her backstory is even less like they barely even like they don't even mention it. They're just like, my dad and my mom died and they were mafia bosses and now I have infinite money. So convenient. I like the sniper guy the best. The sniper guy probably has the most character out of all the characters, out of all the cast. He's been looking for a job. He's looking for a reason to live. He found his only, you know, the only thing he was good at was his aim with a sniper rifle. And I think that's, wow. He uses that to motivate his character and push himself forward in the story. Oh my gosh. It's almost like these characters are intertwining with each other and like, you know, using their things to their advantage. Wow. It's not like Shin Shin, where he has this amazing, mind-blowing ability, but he doesn't use it for anything. He just uses it to imagine himself as a victim. Wow. So yeah, the sniper guy, you know, he intertwines himself in the story because of his great skill. Not only because of that, but because of his likable personality. He wants friends. He wants a goal in life. He wants to feel like he matters. And he does matter to some extent. He is a liability to Shin and the others in the later episodes, and I feel like he's going to be a huge factor in the future. I don't know what's happening, if like, you know, all the guys are gonna come after Sakamoto for his bounty, but whatever. Alright, enough about the characters. Let's talk about the plot / story. Sakamoto is the world's greatest assassin, hitman, whatever you want to call it. At least he was before he retired 5 years ago to live with his wife and daughter. Sakamoto now owns a shop called SAKAMOTO's, ironically, because his Saks probably are trying to kill him. Then he meets this boy Shin, who he supposedly worked with a few years back. He's from the same Assassin's Hitman Association, and he is looking to kill Sakamoto. Sakamoto, being the skillful assassin he is, declines him completely and kicks him out of the store. Shin, now going to his home base, defeated, is going to be killed himself because, you know, obviously he failed his mission. He's not needed anymore. He's useless to the guy, whatever. Sakamoto swoops in at the last second and saves Shin from impending death. With nowhere else to turn, Shin then goes to Sakamoto and he offers him a job at his, you know, shop store. First episode honestly has a lot of, like, it's good. It's a good episode. It greatly describes the character Sakamoto just by the way he looks. You know, okay, he's clearly out of shape, and he obviously likes the life that he's living now, by, you know, not only showing Shin the scene where he's eating the food from Sakamoto's wife and how, like, you know, enticing that life sounded to him, but also because in the second episode we get you know, another flashback from Sakamoto and his life when he was still a hitman, when he was still trying to, you know, balance both lives with both his love and his killing people for no remorse. We find out that this lady is a major reason why Sakamoto changed as a person, and that I changed my mind. Sakamoto has the best character development so far. A little bit. Now Sakamoto has been going all around Japan and, like, you know, of course, saving people, helping people away from the assassins and the you know, evil companies and the whatevers and the experimenters. So the Assassin Association puts $1 billion $1 billion on his head, and now hitmen and assassins are coming from all over the country to kill him. That's the premise of the story, right? It's a very lighthearted one, you know. It's action packed, but when it's not, it's comedic. It's you know, it's not uplifting, but it's, you know, happy. It's lighthearted. I don't know if I said lighthearted twice, but it's peaceful. It describes, you know, Sakamoto's life and how he changed for better. But it also leaves you at, like, this really weird middle ground, like, between progressing the plot forward and then, like, just, like, goofing around for an entire episode at a sauna. Sure, there can be, like, quote-unquote filler episodes or, like, you know, break episodes where the team takes a break. Those are necessary, but sometimes it feels a little inconsistent with what they want to do with this show. Because on one hand, in the same episode, they're showing, like, you know, the people that, like, supposedly killed 40 assassins and how they're after Sakamoto and, like, what Sakamoto is supposed to do in order to combat that situation. But in order to retrieve that information, the team goes and watches a movie about something. Instead of actually, like, you know, trying to make the story more interesting by including more elements, like more parts of Sakamoto's past that might allow him to, you know, utilize the things in the future compared to what he was, and not just like this overly powered character. I feel like that would make the story progress a lot more. And speaking of the progression now, moving away from the plot, the story is so fast. Oh my gosh, you have no time to get to know any of the characters. You only learn of Shin's backstory by, like, episode 7 or 8, and it's just like, I don't even care at that point. Like, okay, I've already made it clear in my mind that he has clairvoyance powers. I don't really need to know more. Like, okay, he got it from an experiment and he learned it from this doctor guy that provides nothing to the story. Maybe he will in the future. That's why it's a blind review. I will say this though, the more slow pacing with Sakamoto's backstories are good. Like, there's obviously going to be more that we see in the future. There's been, like, some every couple episodes. So I'm excited to see what he has going fun for us. All right, I think I'm done talking about the cons of the show. You know, it's like, you know, it definitely needs improvement, as does everything else in life. But there are a lot of good signs. First up, the animation looks really good. A lot of people online were complaining like a couple weeks ago. They're like, "Oh, this looks so bad. Oh, it doesn't look like 1920s like smoothness mixed with Vincent Chandler level of action, and there's no like 2 impact frames every second. Like, this is not watchable, man. I can't do this. Like, you guys need to grow up. Like, genuinely. Like, it doesn't need to look like the next like piece of Picasso that's brought into like IMAX screenery and broadcasted internationally with a budget of $200 billion. You know, do you guys know how expensive animation is? One episode probably costs around like $500,000. So yeah, the animation looks really good. The character designs look good too. I like the character designs besides the Shin. I think Shin looks basic and boring and stupid. I think it would have been better if they used the sniper guy's character as the main, but it's okay, it doesn't matter. Sakamoto's the main character. The music, oh my gosh, like the soundtrack is really good for some reason. It's like the violins, man, oh my gosh, I can hear them now. They're beautiful. For some reason, a Hitman anime, like a show about like killing people, has the most beautiful music ever. Whatever, it's not a big deal. The contingency of the show is really good. You know, I can tell that the story is going into more quality-based episodes rather than just like making more about jokes and stuff like that. I can tell that, you know, the show is definitely going to improve in the future, and you know, it's definitely looking good right now. But now my final topic I'll get into on why this is not like the show that will replace the all-time greatest, you know, that will not show me, like, what am I, bro? It won't be as good as One Piece, Dragon Ball, or Naruto. That's what I'm leaving it at. And my number one reason why is because the author or the original creator of this show doesn't dream as big as Oda, Toriyama, or Kishimoto. What do I mean dream as big as them? What I mean is that not only does he incorporate like some basic ideas that have definitely been done before, so like the style of it is definitely like Mob Psycho or One Punch Man, but also the characters have no driving force to them. Sakamoto has nothing to do about this. Well, okay, he wants to protect his family. That's great. That's a good drive. But other than that, his character doesn't grow as a person. Sure, he's the strongest guy around, but what would happen if someone else were to turn around? Would he still follow the rules of no killing and, you know, help people instead? Only time will tell, but I'll tell you right now, it's predictable. It's very predictable. Sakamoto obviously would go 100% if someone were trying to hurt his family, and it would be a high budget episode, and whatever, he would lose, whatever. It's very predictable. He'll just beat the bad guy. When Luffy beats a main enemy in One Piece, it genuinely affects the story. It allows the citizens to be free in that country. It allows his brother to be free. It allows, you know, he changes the world for the better. He does what he does because it's justly right. Same thing with Sakamoto. The thing with Sakamoto is that he does it just because it's just blatant, like, you know, hero sort of work. Luffy doesn't do it because he's a hero or because he's, you know, trying to protect, acting on the defense and just allowing yourself to be a more reactionary character. He takes action out of the goodness of his heart. So it doesn't really like feel like that black and white situation of good versus evil. You know, Luffy's more in that gray area, which allows you to enjoy it more as a young adult, as anyone, you know? Goku in Dragon Ball Z and like any series, he doesn't, you know, protect the earth out of the goodness of his heart. If it was like a giant machine like trying to destroy the earth that required like maybe some like engineers or technicians to solve like a complex math problem in order to shut down the machinery, you wouldn't see Goku there just give it a good punch and it's all gone. It wouldn't be interesting. Goku's entire character is that he likes to fight people who are strong so that it pushes him to be a better person while also having a great challenge, and he just loves to fight. He loves to fight. That's his entire thing. He didn't spare Vegeta because it was like a good thing to do. He spared Vegeta because he wanted to fight him again. That's that little poison that's in himself that says, well, what if I let him survive and get stronger? He comes back to me and I have to fight him again and beat him again. Sakamoto's character is very reactionary and therefore it's very predictable. He reacts to whatever happens to him. He just goes and protects his family. Sure, he's there with them, but he's always the one that gets hit first. Essentially, I'm not saying that literally, like in the show. He is the one that, you know, reacts to how the situation is being dealt with. And that's not really a fun character to watch in general. That's why Gohan wasn't really a good candidate for a main character, because what does he do? He never takes action. He always waits for the last moment until he, you know, can't take it anymore and goes Super Saiyan 2, whatever. It's a strategy, you know, but it's not a main character strategy. And that's why I feel like if Sakamoto were to improve as a character in the future, that would, you know, it would be good for the series. Overall, Sakamoto Days is a very fine enough show right now. It's a blind review, so it's not my final review. I've been enjoying it, but it's becoming very predictable, and it is becoming more and more like black and white, sort of. The characters are becoming more stale because of the situations that they've been put in. What I mean by that is that if when the story starts to get more serious, then the characters will react as if they were the hero of the show. I'll stop you, evil villain, because I'm a good guy and I'm not an assassin anymore. Same thing with the villain. I'll stop you, good guy, because I want my business to thrive, or I want to kill Sakamoto and I want the $1 billion. It's a very predictable story, and I'll say that like a million times because I just want to get it through, that this story is not bad. I'm just hoping for something in the future that will definitely, you know, cause all the characters to change themselves in a positive way, or not a positive way, but a way that allows the story to seem more interesting. I've been yapping a lot, that's why I kind of need a script. You know, I've been going off tangent with Dragon Ball and One Piece and whatever's. I'm glad I'm able to watch this show. This show's really good. It's a really good show. I expect more in the future, and if I am not given that expectation, I will dog on this shitty ass show until the day it dies. Thank you all so much for watching. This video took a while to make. I'm really tired right now in the middle of the day because I don't get much sleep at night. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. Please do it. I'm really trying over here. See you all later. God bless. Have a great day. Stay blessed. Happy Ramadan. Happy Lent. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You guys don't even celebrate that because nobody celebrates St. Patrick's Day because it's not a real holiday. It's a martyr, St. Patrick, the saint, but you guys make it about it. Yeah, see you guys.
Guys, this is a fan of CJ Line. Please subscribe to him. He's the fastest growing YouTuber ever. Let's go!